I heard the worst movie ever had just come out, I thought I had to see this for myself. Turns out I could have just saved myself a lot of hours by just not. War of the Worlds. Not to be confused with War of the Worlds from 2005 or War of the Worlds, the theater show. War of the Worlds 2025 is an Ice Cube-centric movie. And when I say Ice Cube-centric movie, I mean the whole movie takes place on his PC desktop, the entire film. It's free on Amazon Prime if you have an Amazon Prime subscription. So if you do want to go watch it, I wouldn't recommend it, but you could right now. But by watching this video, I can save you a lot of time, a lot of trouble. So let's get into the plot. So the movie starts with Ice Cube in front of a green screen, looking at CCTV, looking for naughty people. Basically, he works for the government trying to find hackers, and there's this one main hacker he's trying to hunt down. He gets a call from NASA who shows him a bunch of shitty green screen weather with this lightning fucking everything up. So Ice Cube's currently juggling this NASA lady who's showing him a bunch of weather reports of big dramas, but also this hacker boy who's live streaming and telling all his evil plans to the world. He's also stalking his daughter through CCTV and hacking into her phone and watching everything she's doing because he's a good dad and is really concerned about her being pregnant and eating too much. His son also calls him, who's also on top of a green screen room, even though his room is just a generic bedroom. And he's like, yo, dad, why did you delete all my games from my PC? Why did you hack into my PC and delete all my games? I'm trying to be a gamer. Throughout all of this endeavor, he's still trying to get a hold of this hacker. He then gets a call from Roderick. There's a lot of this movie is just him doing something, gets calls, do something, get calls. You'll see a lot of this. So he gets a call from Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, who's dating his daughter, and he invites Ice Cube to their baby shower. But Ice Cube didn't know that there was a baby shower and he thought his daughter would have told him herself. So he contemplates messaging his daughter on why she didn't invite him, but instead resorts to the natural next decision of hacking into her phone and looking through the messages. Now, she changed her password on her phone because she knows that her dad is hacking into everything she owns and spying on her. But luckily, Ice Cube has this genius technology of generate password, and it just tells him the password that she has. Hacking is really easy nowadays. He reads all the texts between her and Roderick and figures out, oh, wait, I'm a bad father. Oh, shit. And he's feeling sad in the moment, so he looks at messages between him and his dead wife on Facebook, and he looks at the last message she sent, which says, yo, Ice Cube, can you be a good father to your kids and take out the trash as well? He then gets caught up by the government and is like, yo, we found the hacker boy. And then he presses this little button and goes, that was easy. There's a recurring bit throughout the beginning of the film. He just keeps pressing, you know, those buttons that goes, that was easy. Funny joke, Ice Cube. Funny joke. So Agent Coulson is there from the Marvel Cinematic Universe with the most laggy camera I have ever seen, and they're watching the FBI do this takedown of this hacker dude over a Teams meeting. You know, where the government do all of their secret calls over Teams meetings. Then NASA send over some videos. Look at these really bad CGI thunderstorms that just look like you downloaded some green screen effects and chucked them on top of videos. Look at these, they're so bad. Like, the thunderstorms are literally going over trees as if they've just plopped them on top of them. They couldn't just cut around the trees. So the FBI get into the hacker's room and he's not there. They've been misinformed, and then all hell breaks loose. Fireballs start coming down from the sky. He has this most shitty ass reaction shot I've ever seen. What proceeds after this is Ice Cube seeing a bunch of bad shit go down, fireballs coming from the sky, and each one he has a really shitty reaction shot of. And Ice Cube actually gets hit by one of these fireballs. Not directly, but nearby, and we know this because the camera shakes a little bit. He can't get in contact with his daughter for some reason, and he's worried sick. He hits up Roderick from Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and he's like, yo, get my daughter safe now. And he calls up his son to get him safe. He's out in the streets now for some reason, and what proceeds is the least tense action piece I've ever seen. He's running down the streets, and we think he might have died, and the call ends, and Ice Cube's like, oh my fucking god, he's dead. And then he gets caught up, and he's back in his bedroom where he originally was. He just left his house, ran across the street, and then went back to his bedroom. He's alive. Fake out death, number 1. There's a few more of these, don't you worry. Ice Cube then gets invited to a Zoom call with the most important people in the world. The NASA lady's in this call, and she's going up to one of these little meteorites. It's like, oh my god, I think it's alive. And we see her hand really badly placed on top of this CGI meteor. We can tell it's really shit because the colors are completely off. It's like if I put my hand here and then had a green screen meteor here and I didn't color correct them at all. It looks bad. It looks shit. A big tentacle comes out this meteor and just fucking hits her, so we presumably think she's dead. Agent Coulson is now freaking out, and the meteors start breaking open, and there's realistic robot spider things. Honestly, they kind of look like Striders from Half-Life. Not only in the essence that they're big, long, with big legs, but honestly, it looks like they just got the exact same asset and plopped it over. Same graphics and everything. And one of these Striders kill Ice-T's mate. And the best way to understand his reaction to this graphic moment of one of his best friends dying is just seeing his reaction.
Oh my God.
He sees more of these absolutely shocking CGI scenes of these Striders and uses his hacking skills to understand how they work and what they want to do. Because he is the best hacker in the world, he can look at these videos and just type some things into a computer and he knows their plan. He finally gets a call from his daughter, finding out that she's alive, and she's face to face with the Strider. It instantly just targets her because this is where the story needs to proceed, and it chucks a helicopter at it. Ice-T is now stood up, guys. He has now got out of his chair for the first time in the film, and he is shocked. He thinks his daughter is dead. Could this actually be the first? No, she's alive. She just has a little bit of metal in her leg. He gets up again and tries to get out of there to go help his daughter, but the doors are locked to his office. So he hacks that door open because he is the best hacker in the world. He then FaceTimes her on his phone. He's like, yo, bitch, I'm coming over to save your ass. And she's like, no, don't. Stay there. You'll be safe. And he's like, all right, you're right. I will stay here. And he goes back onto his desktop where he belongs. His daughter's like, I think I can make it to my office. And he's like, no, you stay there, beautiful. And let me just hack this fucking Tesla real quick. So he hacks this Tesla, drives it over to her, and he's like, get in that car, bitch. I'm being very dramatic here. He's so considerate to his daughter and very understanding that she's going through a lot of pain right now and panic.
Faster, honey, I know it hurts.
They then have this very heartfelt scene where they talk about her baby shower. How he's like, why didn't you invite me? And all this malarkey. But throughout, it's very clear they're both just speaking to screens. It takes you out of it a little bit, but his daughter starts telling him how he doesn't have any power. That's his problem. He thinks he has all this power that he can do anything, but he couldn't save their mother's life. She died to an illness and he can't hack an illness. And she's like, you're useless, you have no power. You need to stop trying to control us and save us from everything. Even though he just saved your life by hacking into a Tesla, you're now telling him that he is useless. He then hacks into Roderick's van and tells him, yo, get your ass over there. You know how people can hack into vans and use the multiple cameras that everyone has in Amazon vans? You know, there's one in the front, one in the back, one to the side, multiple shots of every single Amazon driver. He then gets in a call with the president and tells him everything he knows. He's like, yo, these robots are going to the power grids and taking them out. And he convinces the government to take out these Striders one by one. What precedes is shots of the government taking out these Striders and Ice-T having a funny-ass reaction each time. He's like, yippee, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. Then the Striders start attacking government buildings, and his son hits him up. He's like, yo, the government aren't telling you everything. They're hiding things from you. And Ice Cube's like, shut your bitch ass up. I work for the government. They wouldn't lie to me. And he finds out these Striders are going into the government buildings with this little tentacle things and taking all of the data out of the servers they have in there. Because of these data drains, the helicopters are now crashing and military ships are flipping over because, as everyone knows, those servers run the helicopters. Without those, we're fucked, because that's how helicopters work and boats work. Roderick finally gets to Ice Cube's daughter and is like, oh my god, your arm looks rough. Let me just tape that up with literal packing tape, and that will save the day real quick. We then see that NASA girl has gotten some robo-bugs from the Striders. Inside of these big tentacles, there's little robo-bugs, which have been going into these servers and sucking all the data out. They've been eating all that data. By the way, the NASA girl didn't die when she got hit by the big tentacle. She just walked it off. They have this realization that these Striders just want to eat all the data up, and they just stare at each other for a moment. There is just a few seconds of just them staring at each other. It's kind of awkward and weird. They then suck the data out of Facebook and they lose Facebook, and he goes onto his messages with his wife and sees that last voice of her telling him to be nice to their own children gets deleted forever. I think this is trying to be a message to, like, don't save everything online because it can all be deleted like that. You need physical copies of shit. I think that's what it's trying to be a message of. But he's sad. That's all I know. He then goes back to the hacker's live stream, who's been still live streaming this entire time, and he's claiming the government knew about these Striders before they came. He then clicks his fingers and starts hacking. He gets a voice clip of this hacker dude and recalibrates it to get rid of the voice filter they have to make it sound perfectly like he did before, because he knew exactly what to do, because he is the best hacker in the world. It's Ice Cube, baby. And he finds out it's his own son. His own son is this evil hacker dude who's been hacking into the government and stuff. So he calls up his son. He's like, yo, what the fuck you doing? And his son's like, so you finally figured it out. Wanna find out what the government know? And he's like, no, fuck you, son. You're a bitch. Why are you lying to me all this time? Why are you doing all this illegal stuff? He hangs up on his son in this dire moment. His son sends him over a little file with all of this information, which is just proving the government knew everything from the beginning. It has some photos of the robots decades ago, showing that they knew about them ages ago and were just chilling with them. Look at these chill-ass dudes in the photo. And they have a picture of Agent Coulson in a meeting. Look at this photoshopped picture of Agent Coulson that's definitely not meant to be photoshopped in the context of the movie, but is. Oh my god. god. So Ice Cube calls up Agent Coulson and accuses him of being a bastard man. And Agent Coulson's like, you got me. I'm a bastard man, but your Wi-Fi has now been blocked, bitch. He blocked his Wi-Fi. The hacker's only use is Wi-Fi. Luckily, he gets hit up by his son. He's like, yo, bro, wanna work together? And Ice Cube's like, hell yeah, motherfucker. Is that racist? I don't know. I hope not. Anyway, his son gives him his Wi-Fi back because he's a hacker like that. Now, Ice Cube and his son and his Discord group of hackers start making a virus to put into the servers so the Striders will get hacked. They have this moment where they go through the group of hackers and start giving them all job roles. They're like, yo, Hacker 1, you'll make the virus. Yo, Hacker 2, you'll infiltrate the servers. And you, Hacker 3, you just be Hacker 3. It's literally like one of those meme moments.
I'll create the rabid virus. Starfire, brute force passwords. Thelma Louise, break encryption. Code Crusher, bypass firewalls. And Burnout, just stay out of trouble.
But throughout this film, the Striders have been getting a bunch of server information, as we know, and they find out all of the personal information of these hackers. So they start going to their building. How do they do this so quickly? Well, the Striders lose their legs and start flying, and they just fly over to the hackers' buildings and blow that shit up. One by one, they all die, and the son seemingly dies as well. We see this drone shot of their house burning to a crisp, and Ice Cube's like, fuck, my son is obviously dead. I see the house on fire. But turns out, his son isn't dead. Bum, bum, bum. He was actually just on a green screen canonically the entire time. It did look like a shitty green screen because it was a shitty green screen. He was actually chilling at his friend's house the entire time with just a green screen of his own house. One thing that does confuse me, and this is kind of a nerdy complaint, I won't lie, he takes down the green screen showing that he was actually on a green screen, and in the background they have these shitty ass stupid ass monitors showing shit like just generic coding. But the coding is actually green, so wouldn't that also be chroma keyed into his own background? I know it's an actually type shit, but you know, come on. I'm here to bitch. Anyways, they need to get a group chat together of all the good guys in this movie. And Ice Cube's like, I'm gonna go and hack into that Zoom call that the government has real quick. So he opens up his little code to just generate everyone's passwords ever so he can get into anything ever, and gets into the secret secure government Teams meeting. He sees the government's about to bomb a bunch of places for whatever reason. He's like, fuck, we need to stop them quickly. So they come up with a plan to put this virus on a USB stick and then stuck this USB stick into a server. So when they come with their tentacles, they'll suck it up. And Ice Cube's like, I'll do it myself. And they're like, no, it'll kill you. And he's like, I'll do it, bitch. But it needs a flash drive. He doesn't have a flash drive. Even though he's the most professional hacker in the world, he doesn't have a flash drive. Luckily, Roderick has an idea. He's like, I work for Amazon. And let me tell you, we have the fastest delivery in the world, especially with our new patented drone delivery services. Oh my god, thank god for Amazon Prime delivery. I love Amazon Prime and I will be buying a subscription right now. So Ice Cube goes mobile for the first time properly in this movie, and he's like, alright, time to make my way to the servers in this government building he has been in the entire film. Starts making his way down, and Roderick connects to his drone, his Amazon Prime drone, sponsored by Amazon Prime. He starts delivering the USB stick, and what proceeds is an epic chase sequence of a drone flying through the air, dodging these big tentacle robots. It's very dramatic, but one of them hits the drone. Oh my god, it's on the street, upside down. What can they do? They can't get the drone flying again because he's upside down. Luckily, the drone sees a homeless guy. The daughter is also a prestige hacker and hacks into the homeless guy's phone because everyone has a phone nowadays. Come on, everyone knows this. That's an actual line from the movie. They tell the homeless guy, yo, we'll give you some free Wi-Fi for a year if you flip that drone back over. He's like, what? So the government can spy on me all year? And they're like, fine. Here's an Amazon gift card. And he's like, alright, bet. I'll do anything for an Amazon gift card because Amazon's the best company in the world. So he flips the drone back over and the drone flies over to Ice Cube. Ice Cube gets the USB with the hacking code inside and he starts running to the servers. It's a race against time with Ice Cube's life on the line and shitty CGI tentacle monsters everywhere. He gets swarmed, but luckily he gets the USB stick in. It, for some reason, for the first time in the entire film, cuts away from any actual camera device and does an actual just shot of him plugging the USB stick in. It's the only time in the entire film where the only monitor screen's broken and just having an actual camera shot, and it instantly works and the entire world is saved, but we lost Ice Cube to the tentacles in the process. It cuts to what we can only assume is a few days later, and it's the daughter's computer, and she opens up an email that he sent just before he left, and he's basically telling her all this soppy stuff, being like, yo, I'm proud of you and all this malarkey. And at this moment I was like, damn, at least they have a nice ending of actually killing off a character. At least they finally had the balls to... It cuts to Ice Cube being alive with no context of him being alive. He's just alive. He's in a call with the government and like, yo, we want to hire you again. We need you. And he's like, nah, I'm gonna do my own thing. I'm gonna hunt you guys now. Make sure you're behaving. Yeah. Now, was this the worst movie ever? It wasn't great. The plot of this movie is very shit. Not a lot of substance to it. The acting is borderline awful. There's actors in this movie which I have seen act in other things better, and you can tell that in this, they're just sort of phoning it in. Whether that's due to the fact that they're definitely just phoning on their mobile phones, or because they can't be asked because this isn't a real important film that's gonna go to cinemas. This is just a fucking ad for Amazon Prime. Who's to say? Speaking of this movie just being an ad for Amazon Prime, it was just an ad for Amazon Prime. The last 10 minutes where they just constantly bring up Amazon being a great thing, it was just out of nowhere, left field, just being, oh, we're doing this, okay, sure. And the constant fake out deaths pissed me the fuck off. I hate a fake out death anyway, but a fake out death where the acting is really awful of them reacting, being like, oh my god, no, oh, you're alive, okay. Multiple times in the same movie with the same people multiple times as well. The son died twice and the daughter died twice. It is a shame to see Roderick in this movie. I loved him in Diary of the Wimpy Kid, and I haven't seen him in much since, and this is not a good look for him in the Amazon parcel delivery service. But overall, it was a very waste of my time. It was an hour and a half of a movie, and I know this is gonna take about 3 hours to edit, so I would not recommend. I would not recommend watching. I would not recommend making a video about it either. With shitty CGI in every single scene, awful acting, and the fact that I think it was trying to be funny in moments and it failed, there's not a single good thing I can say about this movie, to be honest with you. And for that, I do think I have to give it a 0 out of 10. So to be fair, it does fit the worst movie ever rating, but I'm sure there's worse movies out there. Because while this movie was incredibly boring, I was at least able to actually make it through until the end and not have to quit halfway. But I'll find a movie like that someday. Subscribe.